to be quite honest. Ryan doesn't show up to any baseball games or anything like that. So it's not shocking that he doesn't see him that much.
So I'm so excited for the upcoming season. I mean, what are you most looking forward to? Obviously, fans have been on your journey for quite some time. So what are you most looking forward to having them see this upcoming season?
It's kind of weird because typically in the past how we've filmed the show over, a long period of time, it's like I know, time period, things like what was going on, what was happening. But with COVID, we film in a much different way now. Mm-hmm. Only for maybe a few months, but like jam-packed full, like all the time. So I prefer it because I feel like it's much more like docu-series style, and everything is very just real time. This is what's happening. Mm-hmm. And so part of me is like, what was even going on while we were filming? Because you just get so used to the camera being with you.
Totally.
But I'd say probably people getting to see really how our day-to-day life is, like how crazy busy I have to be in 1,000 places at once, and all the kids and everything they have going on. And me and Taylor, we divide and conquer. It's just, we're busy. We're very busy.
Yeah. It's a juggling act, right? Every single day is different. In October, Bentley turns 13. I mean, what scares you the most about raising a teenager now?
Lord, I don't know. I feel like every time I think about it, I'm like, oh, I don't want to think about that. But he's kind of, I'll be honest, I feel like 12 was, it's pre-teenage. He's already to the point where, like, Mom, you don't know anything. Like, you know nothing. So I'm kind of already used to that part, I guess. Besides that, it's just, all I keep thinking about is like 13. That means 3 years away from the age I was when I got pregnant with him, 3 years away from driving, all the scary stuff.
Yeah, all the scary stuff.
I still have no idea what I'm doing.
I think you're doing a good job. I mean, has he shown any interest in dating at all? And do you have any rules in your house about that?
Not really. I mean, he's had, your typical like middle school girlfriend or whatever, where I feel like they're boyfriend and girlfriend, but that they don't even talk to each other,
Right, totally.
Still awkward and weird. But no, he really doesn't show much interest, in that aspect right now, or at least not enough to talk about it. He's more interested in sports and hanging out with his friends than anything.
Totally. Now that your kids are a little bit older, obviously Bentley's going to be a teenager, kids in elementary school. Is there anything that you miss about that baby stage?
They didn't talk back as much, that's for sure. But no, I enjoy the age that they are now, just because they're getting into their own activities and interested in, their own things at school. And, you really start to see like who they are as like a little human instead of, just a baby or a toddler. Yeah. So this age is fun. It's very fun.
Yeah. In January, you said that you were maybe interested in having more kids, but maybe adoption might be something down the road. Have you guys thought any more of that? And does Taylor want to add more to the family?
We've definitely always talked about adoption. And I feel like we've always been like, wait till both of the younger ones are like in school and, we're not changing diapers and all those things. But honestly, with COVID and just how crazy everything has been, it's really not, we haven't really talked about it much or brought it up, but the kids are both in school now. So maybe when things, I don't think they'll ever go back to normal, but maybe when things calm down a little bit and kind of get in some sort of new normal routine, I'd say the conversation would definitely come back up then.
Definitely. And how are you feeling kind of going into this season? Because obviously we left off at the reunion and it was a very explosive reunion between, everything with Ryan's parents and things like that. So how are you feeling kind of picking back up again?
As far as filming or just the
or
show?
just in general? Yeah. I mean, obviously because it was so explosive, that reunion. Had you talked to them before camera started rolling again?
No, we haven't really had any communication between them and us. I mean, I don't know if that will change, but I feel like just after that, and then obviously with the school kids being out of school for the summer, being gone a lot for Bentley's baseball and all that stuff, it's just hasn't really come up. Mm-hmm. There's not really been an opportunity or a necessity for us to have a conversation or mend things or anything like that.
Yeah. Do you want to mend things, or do you feel like it's kind of broken at this point?
I wouldn't call it broken. I just am not sure. I'm not sure that it's necessary right now. Mm-hmm. But it's also something that I would not want to force. Mm-hmm. Like I wouldn't want it to happen, unnaturally or at the wrong time, as in not being ready to move on or to work it out. So I'm not sure that it will happen or won't happen. It's just, I don't think now is the right time. And like I said, I just don't want it to be something that's forced.
Mm-hmm. How is Bentley doing with everything? Did he watch back last season at all? Does he watch back the show at all?
He does. He actually usually watches it with me before before it actually airs. Mm-hmm. And that's just because he likes to be prepared for any questions or anything that he might get at school.
Sure.
Because apparently middle school girls love to watch Teen Mom. But, I mean, really, it's kind of one of those things, sometimes he's shocked but not shocked, or interested in things that might have been said or done that he wasn't aware of, or that he didn't know was going on, stuff like that. But he doesn't really like the show. He doesn't watch it because he thinks it's cool and he's interested in it. So I don't know.
Yeah. Has he seen his dad at all? Has he seen Ryan at all? Because I know he said recently that he hadn't seen Bentley in a month. Is that true? And what's kind of the status of their relationship right now?
Yeah, he's only seen him a couple of times this year. And I mean, to be quite honest, Ryan doesn't show up to any baseball games or anything like that. So it's not shocking that he doesn't see him that much. But at the same time, Bentley's still at a place where he isn't necessarily comfortable until, Ryan goes to therapy with him. And I know in the last season, I think toward the end of the season, they showed, Ryan talking to the counselor over the phone. And he did, I want to say, one or two more phone calls with the counselor. And after that, the counselor couldn't get a hold of him or in touch with him. So nothing progressed beyond that. But Bentley definitely still, wants to see, sorry, the tree was hitting the window. No, actually, I think a bird just flew into my window. But he definitely still wants to see his siblings, his brothers and sister, and, have a relationship with them and his grandparents and stuff. So it's kind of all still up in the air at this point as far as his relationship with Ryan.
Yeah. Do you hope that he has a relationship with Ryan? Because I'm sure very disappointing for him when his dad doesn't show up to his games and things like that. It's got to be, or is he just used to it at this point?
Yeah, I think he's just used to it at this point. I think it actually would be a bigger shock for him to see him at something, or to see him attend something. But, I mean, I definitely want them to have a relationship if it's a healthy one. You know, I definitely don't want Bentley to have a relationship with anyone that's where the relationship's not a good relationship for either person. So, I mean, if it was a good relationship and a healthy one and, you know, started in a good place and stuff, then yeah, absolutely.
Do you have any communication with Ryan and Mackenzie at all?
No.
Yeah. Yeah. And do you pay attention to anything that they say about you or things like that, or just?
No, I get text messages from people. They're like, oh my gosh, did you see this? Or like you know, they'll text me a link and be like, what in the world is this? Blah, blah. And I really don't even open and look at them because number one, I don't care. Number two, I don't really have time.
Right. Yeah. Did it almost make it easier that they're not on the show anymore?
Yeah, I guess just simply because for the longest time, it seemed like for the longest time, Ryan and I have had no relationship or communication or anything like that. So having to kind of navigate and discuss something that there was really no substance to would just get annoying. You know, it was like, you're just beating a dead horse at this point. Like, can we move on? So it definitely made filming way more bearable than it had been in previous seasons, just because I felt like it was just naturally what was going on in our life instead of, you know, revisiting something that had happened a year ago or whatever the case may be. Right,
definitely. You know, back in March, you said doing Teen Mom was kind of a season by season thing as the kids get older. I mean, how much longer do you see yourself doing this, and do the kids still want to be involved?
Bentley, he doesn't care really either way. Like if they're going to film a scene where they're like, all right, we're going to go, you know, play, let's do it outside and y'all can throw a baseball around or whatever, he's like, oh yeah, I'm down for that. But if it's like, all right, we're gonna you know, get y'all dinner and we'll just film dinner, he's like, I have homework. And I'm like, you never say like I have homework to do. So it's a day-to-day, mood-to-mood thing for him. The little ones, Jade and Maverick, they absolutely love it. Like they love when we pick them up from school and we're pulling in the driveway and they see the crew vans and everyone. You know, MTV's here, yay! Jade likes to like take them around the house like she's doing like a YouTube video. She eats the cameras up. She loves it. It's kind of scary, actually.
That's amazing. I love it.